And then
So we're going to use a pole of some sort today, and we'll use either 2 hand weights or 2 ankle weights or 2 tins. And between those 2 things, you should have what you need. So Emma, Neil, Kathy, you need 2 tins or 2 weights. And if you've got something like a broomstick or a pole that you can use, that's going to help you with some shoulder stretches. If you don't, you'll still be able to do the stretches without it. It just gives you a little something. So for those of you that are here already, just kind of find your ribs a little bit so you know where they are. Good morning, good afternoon. Megan, you're going to need 2 tins and you're going to need a pole. Same for you, Kelly. 2 tins. And we need a pole or a broomstick or something. So while they grab that, I want you to think of the rib cage just shifting to one side. So you've got the shoulders, you've got the rib cage, you've got the hips, and then you just come back to the middle. And then you want to think about the left side moving out to the side. Nice, Michelle. You got some moves coming back to the middle. And then we go back to the right. And we come back to the middle. Nice, Alyssa. And we go to the left. And back to the middle. One more to the right. So just feel how everything expands to the one side and back to the center. And then expand to the other side and come back to the center. Now we can add the front and the back. So I want you to go to one side. Then feel how you press back to the back of the ribs. Then feel how you go to the opposite side, and then you let the back of the ribs push forward. And then you go back to the side. You press to the back of the ribs. You come back across, and you come back to the front. And again, yes, side. And we go back. And we go back to the side and back to the front. Now just change the direction so that you reverse the direction and just try and see if you can move through those sticky bits. Can you find them? Nice to see you, Andrea. Just so you know, we're going to use either a weight in each hand or 2 tins. And we're also going to use a pole of some sort. I'm sure in your studio space, you've got something you can grab. Last one with the ribs. Now release it. Now we come to the pelvis. So let the pelvis tilt forward and back. So we do this lying down all the time. Just find that posterior tilt and then anterior tilt. Side to side. So think of the pelvis going smiley face one way, smiley face the other way. Now we're going to put it side, forward, side, back. Side, forward, side, back. One more that way. Side, forward, side, back. Go the other way. Side, forward, side, back. Good. 3 more. Side, forward, side, back. Last 2. Side, forward, side, back. Last one. Side, forward, side, back. We're going to grab the pole. Bring it to the front of the body. If you don't have a pole, you can just pretend that you have one. It's just something for us to hold on to. And I just found it actually helps me kind of in our virtual environment see if someone's shoulder is a little higher or a little lower. So with the pole just in front, just take a couple of breaths in and out. Just feel how you let that whole cylinder in the body just expand and contract. 2 more breaths. We breathe in and out. And 1 more breath, breathing in and out. On the next inhale, we lift the pole up overhead. Just keep thinking about the scapula anchoring down. We're going to bend the arms, trying to keep the elbows and the wrists aligned with each other. We keep the shoulder blades down as we lengthen with the arms back up. And we bring the pole all the way down to the front of the pelvis. Inhale, we lift up again. Exhale, we bend. Feel as though you're almost pulling the pole apart as you bend. Good. Lift back up and slowly bring it back down. Inhale, we reach forward and up. That's a very good idea, Megan. That's going to work perfectly. We bend. Inhale, we lift. Keep anchoring the shoulder blades. And exhale, bring it all the way down. Now, as you go through the movement again, just check in with your trunk. Make sure that you're staying centered. There's no movement forward and back in the pelvis. The rib cage is staying centered now. The head is staying in the middle, right above the ribs and the hips. One last one. We reach forward. We lift up and bend. We bring the pole back up. We slowly bring it all the way down. Everyone's shoulders feeling comfortable with the arms overhead? Good. Let's bring the pole up and hold it up. You want to anchor down through the legs and through the pelvis, and we're going to reach as far as we can up before we reach over. Head stays right between the arms, and exhale, we come back up. We go the other way. Anchor, lengthen, and then reach sideways. Good. Exhale, we come up, and we move across again. Feel that you're anchoring, you're lengthening, you're reaching. Feel that space in the body. And come up again. Good. And across. Reach. Good. Now just take note with the next couple of repetitions. Make sure the head stays between the arms. So we're not moving the arms from side to side. It's the trunk that moves. And because the trunk moves, the arms move with it. Now, if you wanted to roll forward, like you're doing a roll up, roll the spine up and we lift the arms up. If you just prefer going side to side, that's fine. We go across and then we go forward. And then once we're down in the center, we roll the spine up, lift the arms up. One more each way. Inhale, reach up and over. And exhale, we roll forward. We articulate up and we lift the arms up. And then one last time, reaching up and over, rolling forward and down. Articulate the spine up, bring the pole up, place it behind the shoulders, and just let the arms be nice and long, resting on top. So if you don't have a pole or you have a TheraBand, you can just reach with the arms out to the side with the palms up. Make sure you've got the abdominals switching on. Make sure that you stay connected through the center. We're going to rotate to your right, lengthening the spine as we rotate, and then just come back to the center to start. Now we want to keep the hips forward. So as you rotate left, keep thinking about that left hip pushing forward. And inhale, we come back to center. Now, if you'd like to add a pulse, you can add a pulse. So we go rotate, twist, pulse, pulse, back to the center. Rotate, twist, press that opposite hip forward, pulse, pulse, back to the center. Remember to take the head with you as you rotate, because it's attached to the spine there. Center. One more, we rotate. Center. Last one each way. Rotate. Come back to center and to the last side. Slowly back to center. Just take the pole off the back of the neck. Everyone come up to standing. Just a little bit of leg work. If anyone else is missing the reformer and the pulsing series, then this is for you. So just find that you can kind of stand with your feet underneath that internal hip socket. We're still going to use our pole. Feet are parallel. Eyes are forward, toes are forward. As you bend the knees, I want you to lift the arms up. You can reach to in line with the shoulders, or you can lift up overhead. And then exhale, just come back to standing. Abdominals are connecting in. It's almost like the abdominals become a tray that carries the spine here as you hinge in the hips. And we stand. Third one, feel energy. Reaching out of the tail, out of the crown of the head, anchoring down through the feet. And pull with those kneecaps up. Really activate those quads as you stand. Press. And pull. Good. 4 more. Reach. And pull. Good. You can have a little bit of a pulling energy in the arms if you feel like it. 2 more, and then we're going to stay down there on that second one. Mihaly, I love your whole tribe is joining us. 1 more, we're going to hold it down there. Really keep connecting with the fronts of the body and just stay there. Just think of breathing. Think of all the different directions that the energy is working in. Make sure you stay connecting the shoulders and the shoulder blades to the body rather than letting them float away. And then we're going to do little pulses here. Now, the pulse is slow. It's a deepen. And 4. Just feel that you're working a little more. 5, 6, 7, 8. Last 2, 9, 10. Stay there. Hold back. We lift and lower the heels. Now, try and move from the ankle joint. So you're not bouncing up and down. You're just working through the feet. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower the heels. Stay there. We press with the arms back. 10, 9, 8. Don't get this over and done with. Work with quality. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the arms down, straighten the legs up, and we go into our V position. Now, V position will keep the back straight. Going to bend, reach with the arms forward. Stay there, rotate one way, back to the center, rotate the other way, back to the center. Really think about the inside of the legs coming together as we bring the pole down. And we go 2, rotate one way, and center, the other way. Center, squeeze those heels and inner thighs toward each other as we straighten. 3rd one, bend, and turn. Center, and turn. Center, and connect and lengthen. And again, turn. Center, we turn. Center, and really start working with those inner thighs more. We've got 5 left. Center, turn, center, and squeeze together as much as you can, going down. Rotate, center, rotate. Really warm the body up from the inside out. Who misses the reformer? Just 3 more. Set and set and center. Connect. Last 2. On this last one, we're going to go down. Find the rotation. Come to center. Find the rotation, come to center. I want you to bring the pole down, little pulses down. 2, 3, I hope you can feel the quiver. 4, 5, 6, 7, for all those days without equipment. 9, 10, hold it, bring the pole back forward. Heels go up and down. 2, and 3. Keep that pelvis from bouncing up and down. We're working from the ankles. Nice, Kathy. Beautiful, Emma. 5 more. 4 more. Nice, Mihaly. 3, 2, 1. Anchor the heels straight and the legs. Are they alive? Bring the barred legs wide. We're going to take the pole behind us. I want you to wrap the fingers forward around the pole. And the arms are just nice and wide, opening the shoulders up. We're going to sink down into our wide V position. Hold that position. Press with the right side of the pole into your pelvis and rotate back towards the left. Maybe giving the front of that shoulder and chest a little bit of a stretch. We come back, we rotate the other way. So now we push in to the pelvis. You allow that opposite side to rotate. Get a little bit of a stretch on that front part, the chest and the shoulder. Come back, we straighten the legs, bending down. So we'll go a little faster now. Down, press and anchor on one side, rotate. Coming back, anchor and rotate. Deepen it a little in the center and we stand, lengthening in through the legs, pressing down. Rotate, center, rotate, center, deepen, add, activate and stand. Sinking down, turn, center, turn. Let's see with those last couple, if you find there's maybe a little bit more room than there was when you did your first one. Definitely feel there's a few vertebrae that definitely rotate a little bit more in my spine now. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, deepen, and we stand. Last one, going down to stay down. We rotate, we center, nice Miali, we rotate, we center, we're going to deepen. Make sure that the tailbone and the pubic bone are reaching straight down to the floor. Deep, deep. Very nice, Emmas. Both Emmas are really working strongly through their legs. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Hold it down there. Heels are going to come up. 1 and down. Try to really anchor yourself back into that pole. Make sure that your body keeps staying upright. Oh, running out of fuel in these legs. 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, high lane, 2 more, last 1, lower the heels, straighten the legs, walk them in, shake them out. Is everyone feeling alive with me? Did we manage to wake them up? Okay, so we're going to grab our tins. Just going to tip the screen down. Going to do a little stretch. Now there has been 1 or 2 incidents where a tin has been harmed in doing the calf stretch here. So you want to place it underneath the forefoot with the heel just gently resting down, just doing 1 at a time. And then I just try and lean forward a little to see if I can get a bit of a stretch down into that lower leg. And then I bend the knee a little as well, just to see how it changes. If you feel that you're not getting a good stretch there, just see if you rest on the heel, you hinge the hips back, you pull the toe up. If that gives you a better stretch low down in the calf and maybe up in the hamstrings a bit. If you're ready to swap over to the other side, just see if you can spread all 5 joints over the tin. Anchor through the heel. Can you lean forward and get a stretch in that lower leg? If you soften that knee, do you get a stretch in that leg? Slowly coming off the tin, coming just to standing in the center. I want you to reach with the arms all the way up, parallel, palms are facing in. Going to go into some calf raises. So again, really feel like you're one strong, long connection down into the feet. I want you to really energetically think of pulling in and up. Really, really feel that you can balance on the toes as you go up. And as you go down, just swing the arms down and the arms come up, just to give us a little something to play with. Swing the arms as you go down. And we lift up and down. Good. Think about the shoulders going down as the arms float up, just to anchor them. And down. Good. Nice energy through those arms. And down. 2 more. Down. Last one. Down. Rising up, staying up. We're going to keep reaching with the arms up. I want you to bring the hands together. We're going to prance. So as one heel reaches down, can you reach with the opposite arm up? And rise up. And as the heel reaches down, can you reach with the opposite arm up? Lift, we center, and we swap. Rise, center, and we swap. Good. Rise, center, swap. Last 2 each way. One more. As you bring the heel down, let the arms just come down. Just find them floating down. We're going to go into a roll down. Chin comes to the chest. Arms are peeling down. Let the spine enjoy the movement. Once the hands go past the knees, you can soften the knees gently. As you reach the bottom, think about the weight placement. Do you have weight on the heels and on the toes? Draw into the abdominals. Let the pelvis tilt under first. Let the spine pour back into the pelvis. And as the head comes up, just reach the arms out to the side, lifting up. Deep in-breath. On the exhale, the arms are going to float down. As they float past the shoulders, the chin starts nodding to the chest. We gently allow the spine to follow the arms down. The knees can soften. Be conscious of the weight on the feet. Feel the change in the pelvis. Breathe in at the bottom. Really anchor evenly through the feet. On the exhale, tilt the pelvis under. Slowly roll the spine up. We're going to come down onto all fours. We will do our single legs, but we're going to do single legs on all fours today. So bring your tins with you. Just change your setup if you need to. Going to go down onto the mat. Hands are going to line up underneath the shoulders. Knees are going to line up underneath the hips. Spine is going to be long and lengthened in between. And then here I want you to just start focusing on a few breaths. What happens on the inhale? What happens on the exhale? Can you find a connection to the abdominals there? Can you feel how when you breathe, you can kind of engage the abdominals to just support the bones of the spine a little bit more? I want you to take 2 more breaths there. 1 more breath there. Now let the 2 sides of the body, right and left, carry even amounts of weight. Without shifting the weight from one side to the other, can you just peel one hand off to start? And we place it back down. Our goal here is stillness. With perfect control, can you swap to the second side? Keeping the spine long, making sure that the crown of the head lengthens away. And then just swapping again a few times. Just check in with the abdominals again. How does this feel? How does this translate through down towards the pelvis? One more. Once you've done both sides, the hands come down. We're going to slide one leg out and we slide the leg back in. Again, can we manage to move one limb without disturbing the center here? Can you find that connection through the middle before you move on the end? And once you've done about 2 or 3 on each side, I think we're on our second set, you're going to start reaching with the opposite arm and leg. Just reaching to where the fingertips and the toes are just touching the floor and then coming back. Still alternating sides and slowly coming back. 2 more each way. Focus on that stillness and the connection. Can you still feel length through your spine as you move? 1 more each way. And that's my second side. So I'm going to take the tin in my right hand and I'm going to move with my left leg. So I want you to start with the leg reaching back. Arms just going to touch down, holding onto the tin, turning the hand so that the palm faces in. And then we're going to reach with the arm forward and up as we lift the leg up, keeping the pelvis level. So we're going to lift. As we lower, we're going to pull the arm and the knee in. And 2. And we just slide the arm and the knee in. And 3. Imagine that the other tin is balancing right on the center of your pelvis. You want to make sure that you don't lose it. Really connecting through those abdominals before you lift and move. And how long and strong can you be in this position? Reach that elbow for me, Kelly. Nice, Andrea. Good, Michelle. Now hold that lift. Can you find that balance between the arm and the leg? Make sure through the center you're even. We're going to open and close the arm and the leg. So the leg opens, the arm opens, and exhale, we close. And 2, still, can you be strong and connected through that center? And 3, and we close. And 4, and 5, just 5 more, 6. Keep that height of the arm and the leg consistent. Nice, Lisa. Good, 3 more, Kathy. Good, Emma. Last 2. Last 1. As you slide that knee back in, reach with the arm through and just go into a stretch. Just give your body a little bit of a thread the needle there. Gonna go one way and then the other. When you're ready, the tin just comes through the center. Just repeating the stretch to the opposite side. Really just find spiral, still hang on to length. Breathe. Recover. 1 more breath. Gently coming back, setting up for our second side. Just for a moment, both hands, both knees down. Grabbing hold of your other tin. Just starting to reach with the arm and the leg out. And we slide it back in. And 2. And just really focus on whether you can find that stillness, that connection in the center. And then reach with the limbs in opposite directions. Really focus on the pelvis there. If possible, to keep the hip bones pointing down towards the floor. 1 more. We're going to lift the arm and leg now. And touch. And 2. Sorry, we brought it in and we took it out. And 3. Out. Good. 4. Keep reaching in opposite directions. And 5. Good. 6. Nice, Lisa. Keep reaching with that sternum. Looking good, Kathy. Beautiful, Emma. Last 1 here. As we lengthen and reach out. Hold. We're going to open and close. 1. And together. 2. Reaching wide. 3. Feel the opposite ends of those 2 points. See if you can connect a string from the hand to the toes of that foot. Can you stay so connected through the body? You can pull that string tight. 4 more. 3 more. 2. Last 1. bringing it back, lower the chin down, bring the leg in, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, just doing a few cat stretches, allowing lumbar spine to flex as much as it can, letting the rest of the spine respond. And then we unfurl the spine here. Find that extension through the thoracic. Keep that connection in the abdominals. Be strong in the arms and the shoulders, and flex again. Lower back flexes as much as it can. Round the spine and uncurl. Lengthen the chest. 2 more. And last one. We're going to go into an elbow plank. So one elbow comes down, bring the other elbow down, make sure line those elbows up underneath the shoulder. We're going to extend one leg out, bring the other leg out, bring the pelvis down again, find that nice strong line. And then in this position, can you let the shoulder blades glide together and glide apart? And again, 2. And apart. Make sure the legs are strong. Crown of the head is reaching strongly as well. Glide the scapula together and press it apart. Good. 4 more. Very nice, Lisa. 3 more. If you find you've had your fill, you just bring the knees down, go back into your rest position. Last one. Hold it. Point the toes of the right foot up and down for 5. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Tuck the toes. Swap over to the other side. Check in with the pelvis. Make sure that it's not lifting. You're a long, flat line. 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Tuck the toes. Lower the knees down. Press back. Long arms. Stretch out. And we breathe. We're going to go into our thread the needle here when you've taken a couple of breaths. 1 more. You can either stay low or you can opt to come back up high. Sliding the arm through. Really finding a spiral in the chest. Reaching with the tailbone back. 2 more breaths. 1 last breath. Switching over to the other side. Here we go. Really just find space. Just really feel energetically how many different directions you can expand in there. Last 2 breaths. When you come back, gently crawl out of the position. We're going to come onto the mat. We're going to set up for our pelvic curl. Have those tins nearby. Feet's going to be in parallel. Comfortable distance away from the pelvis. Sure the head, neck, and the shoulders find a comfortable spot. I want you to feel that you can sink into your mat for a moment. Let your bones kind of become one with the mat you lie on. And then we tilt the pubic bone towards the belly button. The back's going to soften. Hamstrings are going to gently switch on. Keep switching the hamstrings on as you curl the spine up. At the top, make sure that the legs have carried you up. The spine is long and lengthened. Roll back down. Really feeling each fiber open up as you roll down. We inhale at the bottom, tilt the pubic bone up, and then peel the spine back up. Really trying to pull space into the spine. Can you shorten the hamstrings towards you? Can you lengthen and open up the thighs and the front of the hips away from you? And can you find space for the spine as you go up? Breathing in and exhale, melting down. One more here. Breathe in and start rolling on the exhale. Really make sure the whole breath comes out as you move up. When you get to the top, I want you to pause. Now, can you tilt the pubic bone even more? What happens in the hamstrings if you do? Little tilts there. And 2. And 3. Can you pull the heels towards the back of your pelvis as you tilt? And 4. Really wake those hamstrings up. 5. And 6. 7. One more. 8, lift the arms up, reach with the arms back and overhead. Imagine I'm anchoring your wrists down. Really lengthen and pull away from me as you roll down. Lift the arms up, open the arms out to the side. Just let the knees and ankles be together to start. And then articulate sideways as one half of your body tilts onto the other and you move across. The shoulders stay grounded, the center of your chest stays heavy. Exhale, we come back. We go across to the other side, articulating, rolling, lifting as you move, and gently coming back, squeezing with those inner thighs, with those obliques to connect your back. If you feel that today this is the version for you, feel free to stay there going across again. If not, you bring the legs to tabletop. We do our traditional version. Inhale as we go up. Remember to peel sideways. Feel that sequential movement and then coming back. So we move as a unit, but really just pay attention to the rib cage here and to the back and how connected you can be as you move across and come back. Good. 2 or 3 more. As you breathe here, see if you can maybe kind of sense the quiet of the day kind of coming into your practice too. Is there any tension today that you can kind of sigh out as you move? You can leave on your mat. Now's the time to let it out. And last one. And coming back. You're going to reach with the arms around, grab hold of the legs where you can. How round can you make the spine here? How close can you hug the knees into the chest? Can you curl that tailbone up off the floor? And then slowly uncurl, lower one foot, lower the other foot, grab hold of your tins. You're going to start with the arms down next to your mat. Hands are just going to be on the tins. And we're going to slide forward and down as we would with chest lift with rotation. If you prefer having the hand behind the head, try one hand behind the head for 5, one hand behind the head for the other 5. We breathe in. We start pressing into the hands. Gently start letting the arms and the rib cage glide forward as we come up. We breathe in. And exhale, we slowly peel back down. Head, neck, and chest coming down sequentially. Inhale. On the exhale again, feel the connection into the hands. Feel the nodding of the chin. Feel the gliding of the ribs. Breathe in and slowly coming back down. Really feel if you can kind of feel this gradual deepening. Gaze going down towards the thighs as you come up. And we come down. Changing my mind, we're not going to do 10 here, so we're just going to do 3 more. If you need to swap hands, do it now. 2 more. From the back of the skull, the scapula, gliding and gliding down. This time we're going to come up. We're going to stay up. Right hand stays on the tin. Left hand comes across to touch the knee. And we're going to go into our obliques here. So I'm really sliding and pressing that tin away. Now my tin is close to my mat. I don't have it reaching far out there to the side. Deep and connected. Really pay attention to the pelvis. Are you anchoring the hips? Are you really anchoring the sacrum? Make sure that pelvis isn't tilting up with you. Last two here. Last one. Keep the tin there. Can you bring the arms up to in line with your ears? Hold it there for 4. For 3, 2, 1. We go across to the other side and we slide away. About that rib going across to that opposite hip. A cue you'll know so well from the studio. About anchoring down through both sides of the pelvis on each repetition. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back to the center, both hands on the knees. We're going to reach with the arms back again. But this time we're going to go into the double leg stretch, arm circle around. And 2, circle around. And 3. And you can just stay here, or you can bring the legs up if you want to do the full version. And around. And 5. And around. And 6. And around. Really feel that connection down into the mat to protect the spine. Good. Keep that head, neck, and shoulders up. 2. And around. Last one. And around. Hand and knee. And we swap. And we swap. And we swap. 4. And full 5. And make it neat and tidy. I want to see those toes on the same line. Want to make sure that the chest is staying consistent. Sure those arms are neat and tidy as you switch over. Watch that tabletop leg. Pause, both legs at tabletop, hands behind the head. Crisscross, nice and deep. Reach. And we switch. And 2. And we switch. 4 more sets. And 3. And we switch. Good. And 4. And we switch. Last 2. 5. And we switch. And last one. 6. And we switch. Bring the knees together. Lower one foot. Lower the other foot. Lower the head, neck, and the chest down. Got one more exercise. We've got to do our hundreds with the tins today. So you can decide where you would like the legs to be. Is it tabletop? Is it reaching up to perpendicular? Is it reaching away? Keep the head down for a moment. Just let your arms circle down. Just find the tins. Just while we're down there, just gently let the nose nod down towards the throat, back towards the skull, just a few times. Just gently let the nose roll to the right ear, roll to the left ear. Just let it move a few times. Let the nose circle inside the skull in one direction. Let it circle the other way. Bring it back to the center. Floating one leg up to tabletop, second leg up to tabletop. Lift the tins up and we reach back, keeping the ribs connected. We inhale. On the exhale, the arms start coming up. Find our hundreds position. We breathe in and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Love the energy, Miali. Exhale. Inhale. Thank you, everyone, for being here. 5. I really needed to see each of your faces today. 7th set. We're almost there. 8. Nice. Good, Alyssa. You're doing well. Last set. 10. Bend the knees. Lower the feet down one at a time. Lower the hands down. Lower the body down. Just have a moment there. Going to turn onto our side next. As you roll onto the side, I want you to place both hands behind the head. So now you're interlacing like you would into your chest lift position. We're going to start with the elbows closed, the legs are bent. Just a few book openers here. So we rotate back as though we're trying to roll onto the shoulder, and the elbows are just going with us. Breath there, and then slowly come back again. And if this is not comfortable, feel free to grab a pillow, put it underneath the head, do your long arm variation that you're maybe used to doing in the studio. I really like how this variation forces me to really find that upper back, really pay attention to those vertebrae that may have felt the load of the head today. Maybe two more here. Coming back. And last one. Just stay there for 3 breaths, 2 breaths, 1 breath. Gently bringing the body back. Bottom arm is just going to extend underneath you. Both legs are going to be long. Legs in line with the body or slightly forward on the mat with the pubic bone tilting forward if you need to. And then today, let's challenge ourselves a little in this position. Do you want the arm to just be on the body? Do you want to reach with the arm up towards the ceiling? And then exhale, let the legs just squeeze together and up. On the inhale, we lower down, but we don't touch down. And then we squeeze back up. Good. Can you find here that you're just balancing on your side? It's like standing on your side. 4. Good. Simple and effective 5. Can you find that connection in the waist? Can you feel those inner thighs working together? Andrea, bring your hand a little bit more towards. Yes, thank you. Make sure that the arm is not behind you if you've got the arm up. That it's really like someone is just holding your hand up there. No one's pulling you. They're just holding the hand there. Last 2. Up. Last one. Lift up. Hold the legs up there. Turn into your little V position. Can you squeeze and beat those inner thighs together? And can you make sure that the whole inner thigh is squeezing together? Ooh, Emma, you're putting us to shame. The legs are like butterfly wings. 4 more breaths. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 last breath. Lower the legs down. Good. Bring the body up. Just the noble side kick. Challenging exercise to master. Okay, we're pressing down in the bottom leg. Bring that top leg up. Really lift up out of the shoulder. Now we're going to do 2 little exercises here. One's just our normal side kick. Kicking forward, foot 2. And then reaching back. Now just keep thinking about the pelvis here. And as you reach with the foot back, keep pressing the pelvis forward, but keep controlling the chest. 4. And back. And 5. Think of the shoulders there. If you need the arm down, feel free to have the arm down. 5. 6. Keep that height of the leg consistent. I want you to really focus on that today. Can you feel that energy? Can you use every fiber of muscle in that leg? Last one. We're going to bring the leg to the middle. It's going to go up, to go forward, up, to go back, up, to go forward. Now, just because the leg goes up doesn't mean the waist can go down. Can you use those muscles in the hip to lift and lower that leg? Good. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good. Bend the leg. Just give that quad a little bit of a stretch. Andrea, remind me if I forget again. We're gently pulling back with the foot. We keep tipping that pubic bone forward. Find your breaths there. 2, 1. I'm going to let us swing the legs to the other side to repeat on the other side. I'm going to go into our book opener first. Just get nice and comfortable. So as we roll backwards, it's really through the shoulders and the upper back that we're opening to roll back. We breathe in and then slowly allow the body to peel back. And again, remember, if you feel like you prefer having a pillow there, grab the pillow. Do the variation that we often do in the studio. And coming back. And again. Good, we've got 2 left on the side. Really see, can you find that upper back? Can you feel that opening, that rolling back to include as much of your spine as possible and comfortable for you? And then last time, this time, as you roll open, just take 3 breaths in that open position. Make sure the shoulders are comfortable and relaxed. Breathe in and out into that spiral. Last breath. We're going to come back. We're going to sit up for our side lying position. I'm just going to switch a light on in case it gets too dark. And then on this side, once you feel like you're standing sideways, decide whether the hand stays down, whether we're going to lift the arm up. Be comfortable in the neck and the head, and then the inner thighs squeeze together. We work up into the waist and we lower. Check in with that arm. There's no tension in that top arm. It's just there. Just a different space than in front of you. That feels like it doesn't suit you today. Remember, the arm can be down on the body. It can rest in front of you. It's all about what you need today, what you need on this side too. Last one, we lift up, we turn out, we find those quick little beats in the legs. Now I'm not counting so fast that I'm counting each beat. I'm just breathing and slowly counting. Can you control from the center, from the waist? 3 more breaths. Look like butterflies. 2. Last one. Slowly lower the legs down. We come to sit up for our side kick. Can you find that proud lifted position? If you need to bend the bottom leg, feel free to bend the bottom leg. The top leg is height's going to be consistent. We reach forward and kick for 2 and back. This is my more unstable side. 2 and back. Now really stay connected through the center of the waist there. Make sure that you're not arching from the back to move the leg. Make sure the leg's moving from the hip joint. Back in the body is going to respond, but control that response. Good, last few. Keep that leg height consistent. Nice. And one more. Good work, Megan. We come back to the middle. The leg is going to lift up, down, up, down. Control it from the center. down, and keep reaching with the toes. 4, down. Nice, Andrea. Good. We've got 2 left. Last one left. That leg height's looking great, Claire. We bend the leg back. We're going to do our little stretch. Tip that pubic bone forward. 3, 2, and 1. Let the leg go. Slowly roll onto your front. Bring your tins with you. Just going to change the angle of my mat for this one. I'm going to start with the tins just in front. Thinking about that prone one that we all do on the Cadillac, or the back extension with the pole that we often use in the studio. So the tins can roll forward and back. It's going to help us a little bit. Just want you to take a moment when you lie down there and just rock a little bit through the pelvis. Just check in with the lower back. See how your lower back feels today. And then as you bring the body back down to stillness, you've got to think about the front of the rib cage, how you're actually using the front of the rib cage now, just like you would be using your legs if you were standing on them. You want to engage the abdominals. Keep drawing them up and away from your shirt. Keep tripping the pubic bone down to the floor. And then as you gently draw the shoulder blades back, and you start reaching through the crown of the head, through your face, through your neck, through your sternum, you should really feel how you're standing on the rib cage now. You're standing in the ribs. And exhale, we come down again. We breathe in. As we find that lift, keep thinking of space. As you lift up, can you actually become longer rather than just lifting into the lower back? Can you make the back longer? Can you pull the back away from the lower back as you become stronger there? Inhale, find the next lift. Really use the rib cage there. Really find that press of the hands onto the tins. You can reach forward, you can pull back. What do you need to find a good connection for you there? 2 more. And then last one. Now you're welcome to stay on the mat here. Do the next variation with me. When we get to the double arm movement, if that seems like it's a bit too much load for your back, just go into swimming, whether it's a slow swimming or a fast swimming. You can decide, you'll know which variation you need to do. So we're going to start with the arms coming back. This is not an original exercise. This is one that I got in a class that I did the other day. So we start by just finding that connection in the abdominals again, allowing a little bit of activity in that upper back, allowing the arms to just lift up behind you. You are going to turn one palm down and reach with the arm all the way forward. And then as you reach past the hip and you come towards the body, you turn the tin back up. We alternate arms. Keep that energy through the spine, reaching with the crown of the head forward. It feels like a Superman position. And then we reach back. We turn the palm up. Lower the body down. We find that rest. We find that connection in the abdominals again. We find that energy through the spine as we lift again. We lift one arm up. Turn the palm. Reach with the arm all the way around to the front. Keep anchoring down through the shoulder and the shoulder blade. We bring it back. And we swap to the other hand. And we reach all the way to the front. We bring it back. This time we don't lower it down. If you've got that strength, you reach with both arms forward. Find a little bit more lift through that thoracic. Reach with both arms back. Turn the palms flat. 2 more with both arms. Reach. Remember, if you're not doing this variation, you're doing your slow swimming on the mat. And we turn the palms back up. And one more. Rotate the hands, reach forward. Find that energy in the spine. Bring the arms back. Slowly roll the spine down. Let the palms turn up towards the top. Just rock a little bit through the back. We're going to do one more set. We're going to start with the singles, then go into our doubles. I'll talk you through it. Bring the body back. Find that connection through the abdominals. Find that balance on the ribs and on the front of the body. Find that energy through the spine. So we're a little active. We lift both arms up. We're going to rotate one hand down. And then on the exhale, reach with the arm forward and back. Bring it back. Keep that inhale for the spine. Reach with the opposite arm forward and back. And we turn it up, both arms. Now really feel that you reach wide. Really feel that you reach long. Feel that you reach forward and sweep the arms back. Two more. Nice, Miali. Good, strong energy. Toes are reaching back. Energy in the legs. Energy in all directions. Coming back. One last one. Reach, reach, reach. Slowly bring it back. Lower the tins down. Use the hands just to press you back into the rest position for a moment. We're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to use the hands and the feet to jump through. We're going to jump towards the opposite end of the mat. Bring the legs through. Bring the arms back. We're going to set up for our back support. If you need a variation, you can bend one leg. You can bend both legs. Just going to start with a full one today. Chest is nice and open. Palms are facing in or facing out. Long line. We're hinging in the hips. We're hinging in the shoulder joint as we lift. Long straight line through the body. And coming down. And two. Without sitting, we lift. And coming down, you go for three more. If you need a variation, one leg can be bent. Hinge up. And down, you can alternate sides. If you need more of a variation, both legs can be bent. Pelvis opens up. Last one. I think if I counted with you. And down. This time we lift up for our leg pull back if you can. If not, you just hold that back support position. Leg pull back. 5, 4, 3, 2. Strong arms. 1. Can you be still in the center as you switch? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Control that lowering of the pelvis down. Good. Scoot yourself to the front edge of your mat. We're not quite done yet. We're just going to do the seal puppy for a little bit of a change in position and for a little bit of release in the body. Find a nice round position. We're going to actually open at the top today. So at the top there, just to pay attention to the hips, to really feel that opening up through the hips. Can you just open and close through the hips 3 times? 1, 2, 3. We roll back. 1, 2, 3. We roll up. 1, 2, 3. We roll back. Keep the head tucked. Tailbone is reaching up, or sit bones are reaching up towards the sky. Balance on the sit bones as you come up. 2 more. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Last one down. Da, da, da. Last one up. Da, da, da. Now you've got the option to either go into your rolling like a ball or into your open leg rocker. Which one is it going to be? Long legs with a straight back or round back, holding on to the front of the legs. We round the spine as we roll, roll, and balance. Whichever one you're doing, Don't forget the importance of the balance, that moment of stillness. Find it, use it to center yourself. Nice, Andrea, beautiful. 2 more. You've got the boom. Last one. Pause. Whichever one you're doing, just find your top. Very nice, Emma. Bring the legs together. Bend the legs, place the feet down. Just shuffle back on the mat. Just going to do a spine stretch. Almost there. Long spine. Chin comes to the chest. Gently let the spine roll forward and down. Inhale once you find your end point. And exhale, pull back. Stack the spine back up. We dorsiflex the feet there to give the hamstrings a little bit more of a stretch. Chin comes down to the chest. Peel down, stretch intensifies as the spine flexes. Inhale, keep the shoulders relaxed. Exhale, stack the spine back up. 1 more. And chin to the chest. Roll the spine down, pause there. Now from this position, can you find a diagonal? So sometimes I just grab onto my feet. I flatten the back there to find a good diagonal spine. If you need to bend your knees, you're welcome to bend the knees. If you need to change that leg position, change the leg position. Now, if your tins are close by enough that you can grab hold of them, it's optional to grab hold of them. You don't have to, it's up to you. We're going to do our swimming here with the arms back. So exhale for 5 and inhale for 5 and exhale for 5 and inhale for 5. Keep plugging those arms into the shoulder sockets. Really give space to the neck and the shoulders here. Keep those arms away from those ears in terms of not pulling the shoulders up. 4 more. Find a little bit more hinge, Megan. 3. Yes, Megan, very well done. 2. Last one. Hang on. We're going to rotate. And we come to the center. And we rotate. And to the center. 1 more each way. Rotate. Nice, Miali. Center. Last one. Good, Andrea. To the center. Bring the body down. Slowly roll the spine back up. Just bend the legs. Give those hamstrings some sweet release. And we're going to finish here just with a little roll back, a little release. So you can hold on to the knees if you want to. You're welcome to have the arms straight if you want to use it more like you would your roll up. And then we're just going to tilt the pelvis under, roll back on the mat just as far as your spine feels comfortable. We breathe in and we reverse. When you get to the top, lift the arms, open the knees, fold the body forward. Find that little bit of a stretch. Articulate the spine up, bring the arms up, close the knees, open the arms, press the arms forward and roll back again. You grab hold of the legs when you need to. If you don't need to, the arms are just long. Inhale, exhale, we reverse. Our last one. Lift the spine up, really energy, lots of energy through the spine. Open the knees, fold the body forward. Feel that energy and lift up through the spine again. Close the knees. Open the arms. Open the knees again. Reach forward and down. Just give those legs a little bit of a stretch. Breathe into the back of the rib cage. Let the energy kind of sag down and away from the shoulders and the arms. Take 1 more breath on your mat. And when you're ready, just slowly roll the spine up. Nothing too extreme today. Hope you guys are ready for dinner and have a good weekend. See you in the studio soon.